Good afternoon, Mr. Purisima. You have an extremely fantastic track record in growth. What is your advice on achieving high and consistent growth rates?
Well, for a country like us that really has the true potential, better governance, in effect, made possible our realization of that potential. And that is why we've proven that good governance is good economics. We invested in the fundamentals, applied the rule of law as best as we can, address the structural reforms, improve doing business in the Philippines, although we're still not at the upper third where we want to be, but we've gone up dramatically. We've also been able to improve our fiscal situation. So to grow, you must address the fundamentals. There is no shortcut to it. So you assess what your assets are. In the case of the Philippines, we have very talented people. So we're investing in them. We're investing in education, healthcare. At the same time, we want to be globally connected. So we're invested in infrastructure. We're trying to come up with open policies so that we are not just connected physically, but also from a policy standpoint.
How can the Department of Finance encourage sustainable growth in the Philippines, because the Philippines is one of the most affected countries by climate change?
Well, first of all, we have to accept the fact that we're among the most vulnerable countries in the world. In fact, we're chair right now of a group called Vulnerable 20. So we make it part of our budget, that's first. And secondly, we're advocating globally that there must be a change in the way we deal with this challenge, which for me is the biggest challenge of our generation, together with the poverty that's intertwined with it. Something that would require changing the accounting methodology. There's a saying that anything that's not measured doesn't get done. So we need to be able to naturally input the cost to the environment in the measurement of profitability. So we finance ministers of the world must all work together so that in the measurement of the cost to the environment, it's inputted in the way we measure our finances.
And is the debate about growth a rich world problem?
No, we have different problems when it comes to growth, but it's a common problem across the globe. We are in a global community. In fact, we have to realize that growth cannot just be looked at one country or one region. It must be looked at as a global basis. For example, I think our aggregate demand model is a bit broken, because how can the prosperity of 80% of the world depend on 20% of the world? You have the rich world trying to stimulate demand, when on the other side of the world, there is a lot of unmet demand. And therefore, I think we need to rethink some of the models that we've been using so that we can really come up with true sustainable win-win growth.
Thank you very much, Mr. Purisima.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.